What's up, everybody? I want to take a few minutes to introduce myself and talk a little bit about what's going on. My name is Spiro, and this is the Rational Rage. We're living in some pretty wild times. First of all, if you want to support the show, please head over to our Facebook page and hit the like button. That's Rational Rage. Like the page and stay up to date with the show, and even interact with us by taking part in conversations on a variety of topics. We're also on YouTube under Handsome Reaper TV. This will be the first of a few shows set to debut on that network. So go subscribe to Handsome Reaper TV on YouTube, and don't forget to turn on notifications. Okay. This COVID-19, or coronavirus, as it's popularly known, is really kicking our asses. In the U.S. alone, now these numbers are changing daily, by the hour, by the minute. Even in the U.S. alone, we have 321,000 approximately confirmed cases. Here in New York, we have 122,000 that are confirmed. Globally, the number of confirmed infected is 1,238,000, roughly. I'm pretty sure it's more than that by the time this airs. And counting. Again, these numbers are from the CDC. They're constantly being updated. Over the 1 million infected, approximately 253 have recovered. Obviously, we want everyone to recover, but nonetheless, this is promising. That's not to take away from the 67,000 plus who have died due to the COVID-19, but as a nation and a planet, we have a fighting chance. Now, that chance to recover as a nation and planet diminishes when we have people who are frolicking about selfishly without a care in the world, not only for their personal health, but also the well-being of their fellow human beings. Who are these people? Who are these fucking assholes who I'm seeing gathering in mobs, in parks and beaches, which, by the way, they finally decided to close them down. It took them long enough. Listen, for the most part, over here in New York, I gotta give the man credit and say he's demonstrating leadership. Of course, I'm talking about Governor Cuomo, who, if you follow our Facebook page, that's Rational Rage, I'm no fan of this man. I feel he violates our Second Amendment rights, and he seems to favor criminals over his tax-paying, law-abiding citizens. But more on that on another show, on another episode. But he's done a pretty good job for the most part. However, I feel he should have been a little more aggressive, given the nature of the beast that is New York City. New York, of course, being the capital of the world, being the world's melting pot, it's the major port of entry for everyone traveling from abroad. New York City is also a very congested place with everyone in each other's faces and up each other's asses, especially when taking public transportation. If you visited our city and taking the train during rush hour, you know what I'm talking about. Alright, the governor, knowing this, should have acted a little more aggressively and shut everything down. Okay? He was just on TV saying he's doubling down on fines for anyone who's out playing catch or whatever. Good. I think that's good. There are a lot of assholes out there who seem to have a complete disregard for human life. Fine them, lock them up, whatever you got to do to get these people off of the streets. I think the sooner the better we can get back to, going back to a somewhat normal life. Listen, it's already a tough challenge over here, but if we do our part, we can get over this and recover. But, again, how the fuck are we going to do that? When these hipster motherfuckers have to take their cute little dogs down to the dog park instead of having it take a shit right outside their fucking buildings, you know? I mean, you know, how do we do that when you have these fucking over the hill 3-time divorced fucking women who have to congregate to the track down at the park, you know, and they walk around the fucking track gossiping about the fucking the boy toy they're fucking spending their alimony on, who they shouldn't even be meeting up with in the first place. What about all the morons who came out to see that Navy ship the other day, the USNS Comfort? What the fuck? Ladies and gentlemen, if we can't do our part, okay, then we can't complain about the president, the governor, whoever the fuck. We can't complain about their ability to do their job. So let's do our part, all right? I don't know, you know, maybe martial law is in order. I don't know. What do you guys think? I really want to know. By the way, you can send your thoughts, opinions, requests, questions, or whatever you want to rationalrage.info@gmail.com. That's rationalrage.info@gmail.com. Anyway, it's just common sense, people. Practice social distancing, okay? You don't want to get sick? Practice social distancing. You don't want to die? Practice social distancing. Social distancing? Who the fuck coined that term, social distancing? What the fuck is that? Sounds like something you'd hear in this day and age of feelings and opinions over facts and reality. I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, a bunch of these politicians, most likely from the left, you know, not that the right's any better, but from the left, you know, sat in a big circle jerk and spent hours and thousands of our taxpayer dollars to come up with a more emotionally pleasing and family-friendly term, as opposed to isolation or quarantine. You know, I imagine Pelosi talking to the other nitwits there, and, you know, she'll probably say something like, you know, this is getting out of hand. You know, we have to quarantine and isolate people. Then Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez would probably be like, isolate is racist. You know, it'll remind blacks and Latinos of isolation and prison. Not that I think that, but that's something she would say. That fucking idiot. Listen, you know what? She's not stupid, okay? I don't buy into the whole she's as dumb as rocks thing, nah. I think she's just one of these young idealists who still has that college mentality, and, you know, she thinks she can, you know, she thinks she has the power to change things. You know, let her get more experience and she'll see how the game is played, okay? Most young politicians are like that. They get brainwashed by the professors into adopting this revolutionary attitude. Then they graduate and go into politics. Then they realize how full of shit everyone is, you know, and that they're all in business for themselves. This is what I tell people. They're all dirty. They're all in bed with someone. They're all getting money from some special interest group or another. Just vote and support the ones who remember us peasants and help us here and there. I know I'm getting off track here, but let me smarten some of you guys up. We have the Democrats and the Republicans. Everyone knows that much. To many, it boils down to this: Democrat good, Republican bad. I'm referring to the numbnuts out there who can't see past their nose or understand reality, okay? The Democrats use progressiveness and promise racial equality and help with our bills via social programs. The problem is there is no progress. We no longer live in the civil rights era, okay? And most people who receive help are blowing their money on things other than necessities. The Republicans' tactic is to use patriotism and promise global superiority over our enemies and allies. Problem is, a lot of people tend to confuse patriotism with racism, and unfortunately, many do cover up their racism with patriotism or false patriotism, whatever. As for global superiority, in many ways we've already achieved it, but at the cost of things like education, environmental awareness, and that's, those are the things that just come to mind right now. But the Democrats try to guilt you into siding with them by saying that if you don't, it's because you're racist, sexist, homophobic, and so on. Republicans keep it a little more simple and say you aren't pro-America, or you don't believe in God. Anyway, I got off track. But again, people, common sense. You know who doesn't possess common sense? I'll tell you who. My fucking neighbors, man. Every day I look out the fucking window and these assholes are fucking gathering and having parties. They let their kids invite their friends over. They act crazy all over the fucking yard and the fucking side of the house there. What the fuck is wrong with these people? Maybe they're not understanding what's going on. Only their kids speak English, and they definitely don't give a fuck. So, but the bottom line is this, just, ladies and gentlemen, stay the fuck home, okay? You go out without taking proper precautions, you may get sick. You get sick, you may fucking die. That's simple. Maybe you're all just selfish pricks. I don't know. Me and my family are doing things right, We'll probably die of boredom before the fucking virus gets us. But of course, that remains to be seen. Anyway, what are some of you doing to keep from losing your shit? Let me know. Via email at rationalrage.info@gmail.com. A lot of people aren't appreciating the mental effects that isolation can have on a human being. Would you rather be isolated alone or with others? Again, rationalrage.info@gmail.com. Let me know. I live with my wife and daughter. In many ways, it's great, but in many ways, it can be challenging. I'm always staying busy. I'm a photographer, filmmaker, and writer, so I have little projects to keep me busy and my mind preoccupied. I'm actually in the process of finally writing a book. It's something that I've wanted to do for quite some time, many years to be exact. But, now's a better time, I guess, than ever to start, right? The wife and me have been catching up on our shows on Netflix and Amazon. We've also watched quite a few movies. If you're listening, I want to know what you're watching. Send me your recommendations to rationalrage.info@gmail.com. Talking about what everyone is watching, Tiger King seems to be the number one pandemic champion here. It's a crazy documentary. A lot of questions are around a lot of people's minds. The main one seems to be whether or not Carol Baskins fed her husband to her tigers. Without any evidence, I can't really say, but the documentary does a good job at implying she did. I don't know if it's due to clever editing. Shout out to Greek Papadon and Dr. Destroyer Alex Arroyo. Those guys are my co-hosts on another show I do called The New Force Order. It's a Star Wars podcast. It's not your typical pencil neck, basement dwelling, virgin ass Star Wars podcast. If you're a Star Wars fan and you want a show with a bit of an edge, check out The New Force Order on YouTube. And it's also available wherever you download your favorite podcasts. Anyway, clever editing. It's a running joke on that show. So I don't know. I don't know if it's clever or suggestive editing or what, but I personally think the bitch did it. She's definitely not all there. And listen, she had a rough childhood. she was gang raped by her neighbor and some other guys. Her husband fucked around. He was in fear for his life and even got a restraining order against her. It's tough not to think she did it or had a hand in it somehow, right? I mean, I don't know, but I just heard that they reopened the case the other day. So who knows? Maybe somebody found some new evidence. We'll see. But what do you guys think? Do you think she did it? Send me an email at rationalrage.info@gmail.com. Let me know what you guys think. Did she or did she not feed her husband to the tigers? But listen, yeah, guys, keep yourselves busy. Call one another. If you have any friends or family members who are alone, check in on them. Make sure that they're okay. Give them a call, guys. I know some people who are doing cool things to get everyone's spirits up. Some people I follow on social media who are DJs are streaming live mixed parties from their homes. That seems to be getting over pretty well. People seem to be enjoying that. Some have been hosting viewing parties. I don't know. They stream a movie or something. I don't know. But it's something, man. A lot of people don't know what to do with themselves. So, whatever works, man. There's a lot that we could do. Imagine if this happened to us. Okay, imagine if this happened to us way back in the day, when there was no social media, video games, any streaming services, and all that great stuff that we have now. Social media is a fucking cesspool. Let's be honest about that. It fucking is. But it can be used for something good. Stay connected. A lot of people out there aren't built for solitude or isolation, all right? Reach out to one another. Stay connected. Use this technology for good and for the sake of, your sanity. If you have children, do some crafts with them, I've been helping my daughter build some body armor out of a box. Yeah, body armor. We actually got measurements and everything. It's actually going to be something that's going to look, I don't know, halfway decent. The torso portion and the gauntlets are all done. We're working on the helmet now. It's gonna provide her full coverage. She says it's for the zombie apocalypse. Yeah, that's my 4-year-old daughter for you. I put pics up on my Instagram, so if anybody wants to see what a child's body armor looks like made from a cardboard box, you can check me out on Instagram at Spiro_A. That's SPIRO_A. I think now is also a good time to work on our health. Maybe reevaluate your eating habits, adjust your diet, do some home workouts. Listen, we got nothing but time right now. Isn't that the number one excuse? Or complaint that there's not enough time. Unfortunately, some of us ran out of time. But if you're still here, you owe it to yourself to make the most of it. I think I'm going to end it on that note. Just wanted to take a few minutes to share some thoughts and opinions. If you enjoyed this, please like and share, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. Don't forget to like the Facebook page. Look for Rational Rage. And last but not least, send any thoughts, opinions, or questions you'd like answered to rationalrage.info@gmail.com. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. Please be smart and stay home. Stay home and stay safe. Rational Rage over and out.